All right, everybody, let's go outside. First of all, I got to get my hat on because it's a little on the, I want to see how deep the snow is. And can you all hear me? I think you can hear me. Let's see. Hey, I got these good gloves, Nunya. I got these good gloves, and I'm glad I bought them down there in the Ozarks last year. Let's go see how cold it really is. Usually when it snows, it's not that cold. It's just, I want to see. Yes, I'm going out. Actually, I'm going out with one glove so I can hold the phone. No, screw the gloves. It's not that bad. Teresa, of course you got to go out and check it out. Okay, let's go. And I don't even have my boots. My boots are in the garage, lost in Never Never Land. So let's see how bad it is. Oh, yes. Oh, so what if I just got over the COVID? Make a snow angel. I don't know about making a snow angel. It's pretty cold. Oh, shit, Ola. It's deep. It's deep, y'all. It's deep. Wow. Not a lot's moving on the streets, I'll tell you that much. Woo-hoo-hoo, baby. It's like, I don't know what the temperature is out here, but actually, I like this. You're the only one hitting the thumbs up. Smash the thumbs, you lazy preppers. Are y'all prepped for this kind of crap? What if we didn't have any heat? I'm ready to go to the Philippines and set in the 80-degree tropical weather with the freaking humidity off the chart. It feels like hell. That's what Tin says. It feels like hell. But I don't know. I don't even know if we're going to church this morning. The roads are pretty covered. I don't know. It is what it is. You're over it already. I better take my sunscreen because I'm really white. Look at this. It's pretty deep. I'd say we got a good 4 to 6 inches. And I'm out here trompsing in this little these little light shoes. Okay, Teresa, you're right. I'm coming in. That was enough for me. I'm glad this door. See this? Swollen. The door is swollen. I'm not even sure what the temperature is. Let me look. All I know is I'm having coffee. I thought I was out of coffee. I thought I was really screwed. Damn preppers. 9 degrees. Woo! 9 degrees. For you in the Philippines, let's tell you what that is in Celsius, so you can all really understand how cold it is. It is negative 13 degrees Celsius. Oh, hold on. Woo! Yeah, it's cold. It's definitely a cold day here in Colorado. And we're supposed to just get more and more. We're supposed to get more. Yeah, it is coffee time. I got it. I got the coffee, Carmen. How's it going? I'm glad everybody stopped in to see the snow, the wonderful snow. I have a busy day. No, I don't have a heater in this house. It's freezing. It's like the cabin. I finally fought all the mice. I had about, 7 or 8 mice. And of course I have it's a really strange heating system. That's the heating system. So it's gas. So that's a good thing. I have a little tiny fireplace that's electric. Of course I have a little, My Buddy. I have a Buddy heater with propane. And so of course. But I think, can you imagine, y'all, honestly, what it was like to live in the 1800s in this crap? Oh my God. It had to have been absolutely terrible, especially like in Colorado, in the heartland, like Nebraska, Iowa, Kansas, Colorado. Yeah, it's really cold, little chef. It's really cold. But I hope that y'all join me. I'm going to try to live stream from Tokyo. I leave on the 31st, so I'll be in Tokyo on the 31st. No, I cross over the international date line. So I'll be there the 1st in the evening. So go to the live streams on the channel and hit the thumbs up, comment. That way, and make sure you hit the bell so that you're there. I'm going to try to live stream from the Tokyo airport, which will be cool. And then I'm there for like a couple hours. And then I fly into Cebu that night, which I get there on the 31st. I mean, on the 1st. I get there on the 1st of February. Yeah. But you know, Light Seeker, we can live in faith. We can walk in faith. Or we can be terrorized by the things that are going on. And I think that I would prefer the first. Yeah, I don't know if I would. You know, the weather is, imagine the weather. And Light Seeker, you know, I think the thing is that it's just like the mask mandates are coming back. The COVID is here. I know that I had COVID. I was very sick. But I still refuse to take the Kool-Aid. I'm not going to take the Kool-Aid ever, willingly. And I think the thing is that if we're really, truly people of faith, then God is in control. Not the governments, not the man-made or the natural catastrophes that we all have to just keep standing and keep going, right? Yeah, Teresa, can you imagine? They had to find wood, water, everything. I just have a cough, but I mean, overall, I feel really good. The norovirus was going through our treatment center, and I'm telling you, there were so many people sick from the norovirus. Puking, diarrhea, those kind of things. And it's really bad when it's in a center like that because it just keeps going from person to person to person. Because from what I understand, that one is very spreadable. I am really excited to let y'all in. I've been teaching groups, and my main group is news, support, and journaling. I'm really, really enjoying being an instructor. And now when I come back from the Philippines, I was brought into a corporate meeting over all 5 of our centers 3 days ago. And so I'm going to be going to school to become an addiction recovery counselor. I'll be certified, which I'm really excited about. It's probably going to take me most of 2025 to finish the school. Yeah, I'm really excited. I think that God has plans for each and every one of us. And sometimes no, not me. I don't want to do this. And then you land somewhere and you go, this is exactly what I've been prepping for, what God's been preparing me for, where I'm supposed to be, who I'm supposed to be around. And God puts you in that chapter and you're going, wow. And I'm just very thankful. Here in 2025, tomorrow I turn 59 years old, and I'm thankful for every single day of my 59 years, the good, the bad, and the indifferent. And I'm thankful for the trials, because I think the trials makes each and every one of us so strong. You know, when we think we can't go on, when we think the whole world is against us and things are shattered, God is the only one that can take a piece of glass and put it back together. He's the only one that can take a shattered life and put it back together. And I know that God has placed Tin in my life for a very special reason. She's a very, very special woman. I know that God's placed me in Colorado for the things that I'm doing. And I know that God's placed every single one of you in my life. You've rode out the waves with me, and all I see is clear skies. And I think that, God is so good to us, but sometimes we take so much for granted. And when you don't have all those things as crutches, we always turn to God. But I think it's most important that when the things are going good, that we give a thank you and an amen and a hallelujah to the one that can only put us back together. That is sad. But Teresa, everybody deserves a second chance. Mile high, light seeker. We're 1 mile from sea level, literally. That's why they call it Mile High City. So I'm just a little below mile high because I'm not at the capital. The capital of Denver, Colorado is exactly 1 mile high, which would be 6,482 feet above sea level. But I'm really looking forward to this spring. And my workouts are like going really good. And you didn't know that. That's why they call it the Mile High City. But I hope that everybody has a great day. We're going to go back to looking at some snow and chatting and making friends and connections here on Off the Wall Prepper. And I hope that every single one of you keeps on doing the dang thing, day in and day out. I hope that you join me and Tin in the Philippines on some day-to-day, down-to-earth living. I'm excited to go to their grocery store. I'm going to do a grocery store haul in the Philippines. I understand, Teresa, and everybody has boundaries, and I think that's one thing that I've learned this year that's very, very important, is setting boundaries. Tough love is sometimes the best love you can ever have, because I think a lot of addicts, Teresa, they tell you what you want to hear. They do things that you want to see, but then behind closed doors, they fall right back into the same routine. And that's one big thing at the center, is for us teaching people how to take responsibility for their actions, taking responsibility. And that's hard. I'm sure you're frustrated beyond belief. I mean, I get frustrated every single day at work. For example, yesterday, I was putting milk away. We have a big, huge walk-in pantry with 2 refrigerators, shelving, or freezer, all that. And for some reason, one of the clients, he gave me that look like he was up to something. And that's one thing I've learned a lot about recently, is learning people's body languages, how they look at you when they know they're not supposed to be doing something. This man is a sex offender, right? He's not allowed to have a cell phone, internet, computer access, any of that while he's in our program, which he's not a 90-day situation. He's a 3 to 4 years situation. So I caught that look and I was like, what is he up to? And then another SO went into the restroom. They both went into the restroom. And I was like, this isn't good. So I got him to come out. And when they came out, they're like, we're not doing nothing. We're not doing nothing. Lo and behold, they had a cell phone, which is a very serious offense in our facility when they're a sex offender. But yet they tried to backpedal and say we were bringing it to the office and And so I think the thing that I've learned a lot about, just especially this last 60 days through my training, is how people, especially addicts and sex offenders, will tell you anything to try to get you, Teresa, for example, to forgive them. But actions speak louder than words. Actions speak louder than words. And boundaries. And you got to make boundaries when you have a drug addict or a parolee or a person on probation in your life. Otherwise, it becomes very manipulative. They've learned that They've learned that skill very well. So, I know that God can take a shattered life and put it back together because I keep seeing it in the center, and I know from personal experience that God's with us even when we don't think he is. So I hope, Teresa, that even though you're frustrated, that you find empathy, that you find love in your own way for them, and that you keep on going. And tough love is sometimes the only answer. I'll be back on after a bit, y'all. Hold on a minute. I'm going to put it back out in the snow. I hope that helps you. If you ever need to talk, yell at me. Let's go back to the snow.
Very fine office work. It's soul crushing. Never just sitting behind the desk. It's fine to see it though in a dream. All the people in the office do that stuff. And I like to work in the trenches. What better place to get market research than right there in front of the customer? So I like that. I was honest about all of that. Okay, like how else would I know about all these great places that people don't know exist? I wish it was. Fine office work. It's soul crushing. Never just sitting behind the desk. It's fine to see it though in a dream. All the people in the office do that stuff. And I like to work in the trenches. What better place to get market research than right there in front of the customer? So I like that. I was honest about all of that. Okay, like how else would I know about all these great places that people don't know exist? I wish it was. Fine office work. It's soul crushing. Never just sitting behind the desk. It's fine to see it though in a dream. All the people in the office do that stuff. And I like to work in the trenches. What better place to get market research than right there in front of the customer? So I like that. I was honest about all of that. Okay, like how else would I know about all these great places that people don't know exist? Fine office work. It's soul crushing. Never just sitting behind the desk. It's fine to see it though in a dream. All the people in the office do that stuff. And I like to work in the trenches. What better place to get market research than right there in front of the customer? So I like that. I was honest about all of that. Okay, like how else would I know about all these great places that people don't know exist? CFO and train all the people in the office do that stuff. And I like to work in the trenches. What better place to get market research than right there in front of the customer? So I like being able to do that. I was honest about all of that. Okay? Like, how else would I know about all these great places that people don't know exist? Fine office work is so crushing. Never just sitting behind the desk. It's why the CFO and train all the people in the office do that stuff. And I like to work in the trenches. What better place to get market research than right there in front of the customer? So I like being able to do that. I was honest about all of that. Okay? Like, how else would I know about all these great places that people don't know exist? Fine office work is so crushing. Never just sitting behind the desk. It's why the CFO and train all the people in the office do that stuff. And I like to work in the trenches. What better place to get market research than right there in front of the customer? So I like being able to do that. I was honest about all of that. Okay? Like, how else would I know about all these great places that people don't know exist? Fine office work is so crushing. Never just sitting behind the desk. It's why the CFO and train all the people in the office do that stuff. And I like to work in the trenches. What better place to get market research than right there in front of the customer? So I like being able to do that. I was honest about all of that. Okay? Like, how else would I know about all these great places that people don't know exist? Fine office work is so crushing. Never just sitting behind the desk. It's why the CFO and train all the people in the office do that stuff. And I like to work in the trenches. What better place to get market research than right there in front of the customer? So I like being able to do that. I was honest about all of that. Okay? Like, how else would I know about all these great places that people don't know exist? always hope for I find office work so crushing. Never just sitting behind the desk. That's why the CFO and attorney and all the people in the office do that stuff. And I like to work in the trenches. You know, what better place to get market research than right there in front of the customer? So I like being at least that.
Especially if you think about it.
I was honest about all of that. Okay, like how else would I know about all these great places that people don't know exist?
There is something